Welcome back to the channel In a Vision Fitness with Harvey. Before we begin on the weighted seated marching video, this is purely an inspirational channel motivated through my vision loss journey, and the link for my disclaimer can be found in the description below. So I'm doing a 3-part video and this is part 2 and it's weighted seated marching. So in my last video it was part 1 and it was weighted supine marching in the lying down position, so providing the most support. So in this video, a bit of a progression as it's now testing posture but still very accessible, and in part 3 in my next video I will move on to weighted standing marching. And as ever, I always have the visually impaired community in mind, so hopefully a lot of useful audio. So I will start with the benefits of weighted seated marching. So good for improving strength, endurance, coordination, body awareness, and also improving confidence with everyday movements. And the muscle groups, the exercise targets, are the hip flexors. And the hip flexors are located at the front of the hips, and they play a role when we lift our knee up towards our chest. So play a role in everyday movements such as walking or going upstairs. The exercise also targets the quads, as the quads help with control in the movement. And it also targets the deep core muscles, as the deep core muscles work for stability and keeping the pelvis stable. So I'll do something very similar to part 1, and I will do 4 variations again with the dumbbell and also some resistance bands. So can be easily done in the home with just some basic equipment. So I will do the initial setup for the exercise. So I will sit on a safe, sturdy chair and sitting at the front end of the chair. So not leaning back or rounding my back forward. So a good upright posture, feet hip width apart and feet flat on the floor. Nice and relaxed, so nice comfortable posture, so almost like a string pulling the crown of my head up towards the ceiling. So back neutral, core slightly engaged, so not rocking from side to side in the exercise, and shoulders relaxed, so not shrugged up. So my first variation for this video is using the dumbbell. So I'm just doing one leg at a time. So right leg first. So the handle of the dumbbell is just resting on my thigh just above my knee. So in position, good posture, and I will bring my right knee up and back down, nice and slow and controlled. Knee up, hold, back down, nice and slow and controlled. And adding the dumbbell, so I'm using a light 5 kilogram dumbbell, but even a lighter weight could be used. So it's all about adjusting the exercise to our ability, but adding the dumbbell, not only is my hip flexors working to lift my leg up, it's also lifting the weight of the dumbbell. So I'll do a few demonstrations on my left leg. So same again, bring my left knee up, so dumbbell now resting on my thigh, on my left leg, and a good rep count is maybe 10 reps on each leg. variation to start with. Next variation is moving on to the resistance bands. So firstly, a long resistance band. So again, I will demonstrate with doing one leg at a time. So the resistance band will go underneath the ball of my foot. So I'll do my right foot in the demonstration underneath the ball of my right foot, and I will pull the loose ends towards the side of my right hip. And that is what works best for me for safety. So again, good posture. Bring my right knee up, back down. Right knee up, back down. Again, nice and slow and controlled. And adding the resistance band in this variation is good for targeting the hip flexors, as the resistance is there in both the lifting and lowering phases. So it's there when bringing my knee up, and also when bringing my foot back down to the floor, the tension is still there. So the tension is there throughout the exercise in this variation. So another good exercise. And once I've done my right foot, I will then do the same amount of reps on my left foot. And again, a good rep count is maybe around 10 reps on each leg. So final variations is now using the loop resistance band. So firstly, my loop band will be around my ankles. So band around the ankles and good posture. So when my feet are in position, so roughly around hip width apart, there is already slight tension in the band. So band not slack and no twisting in the band. So bring my knee up, and this time I'm doing both legs. So right knee up, hold, back down, nice and slow, left knee up, pause, slowly down. So alternating between legs. And this, again, targeting the hip flexors, but this is a good variation using the loop resistance band, as it's working both legs at the same time. Because when my knee comes up in the leg that is lifting up, my hip flexors are working, but the other leg with my foot planted to the floor is working for stability. And also good working both legs for coordination in this exercise. So final variation is again with the loop resistance band, but this time bring the band up so it's above my knees. So now around my thighs, and again, no twisting in the band. So again, in position, good posture, core slightly engaged, shoulders nice and relaxed, and do the exercise. And alternating again between legs, not rocking from side to side, and left knee up, pause, back down, right knee up, hold, back down. And moving the band up, the loop resistance band, to around my thighs. It's also, again, targeting the hip flexors, but also working around the outside of the hips, as they are working to keep the tension in the band, so my knees are not collapsing inwards. So, starting to feel it now at the outside of my hips in this variation. And again, in all the variations, nice and slow and controlled. So that's my final variation in this video. So I hope this has been another very accessible exercise, and I hope that the marching videos are good by showing different ways of how the exercise can be adjusted to our ability. So my next video will be weighted standing marching, so please feel free to give that a watch when it comes out, and hope you've enjoyed, and thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe, like and share, and hope to see you in the upcoming videos.